Wonder Woman, 84. Wonder Woman 84. Now, we do have HBO Max, but as someone who wants to support the theater industry, me and my girlfriend went out on Christmas Day to go see Wonder Woman 84, the long-awaited sequel to the original Wonder Woman. And God, the original Wonder Woman came out. I'm trying to remember. It came out. Batman v Superman was 2016. Wonder Woman was the year after. It was 2017. So it's been 3 years since we had the original Wonder Woman. Ugh. Been a bit too long for that. But look, original Wonder Woman was widely well received. Did great at the box office. Fan and critic loved it, pretty much. And this has been delayed so long this year that it seemed like it was never going to come. And that's a fun. Sorry, I'm just getting IMDb up for now for this, and that's actually a fun little note, real quick, is that Gal Gadot's real husband showed up in the film. That's kind of cool. And a couple of that actually make a special appearance in the movie. No, it's cameo films. Oh, good. That's good for them. Good for them. But anyway, so let's get the IMDb page up here so I know I'd had the information available. So you get Wonder Woman 84 now. We've been waiting for this a long time. Did it hold up? Was it better than the original? Where does it stand? Where do I think on it? Well, I think what I should actually start with is actually other people's perception of it. As it stands on Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes for critic score, I will agree with a lot, because it's the actual critics. With audience score, unless it's a verified audience score, I don't really agree with it. But last time I checked, the audience score was 74%, and the critic rating was 66%. To put that into context, I believe the original Wonder Woman's Rotten Tomatoes score is somewhere in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at the criticisms of this one, and looking over them, I will say that a lot of them I was kind of siding with a little bit. Now, to be perfectly frank, I do fall on the side of, I like this movie. I had a fun time with this movie. It's a good movie. But there is some things suffering in this movie. There are some things lacking in this movie. First off, in fact, let me get all the stuff I have a problem with, and I'll go into all the positives, and then kind of blend them together as it makes sense. There are some effects issues, nothing serious. There's just some scenes where I'm like, okay, Wonder Woman is clearly in front of a green screen right now, and it's a good green screen, but it's clearly a green screen. So that stood out to me. Furthermore, there are a couple scenes where I'm looking at, like, oh, wait, what? There's one scene where Maxwell Lord steals the stone that's kind of the MacGuffin, in a way, in the movie, and while he's seducing Cheetah, Barbara, I believe that's Kristen Wiig's character's name, Barbara Minerva, who plays Cheetah, and he's kind of seducing her just to steal stone, and they're making out. I'm like, okay, wait, were they just making out, or did they do it? Because if they had sex, he had to palm that thing. While he had just look, I'm so amazing one-handed. But at the same time, she later admitted that she did let him borrow it anyway, so I feel as though that could be explained away. There's a scene where you see her running, and even my girlfriend looked at her and was like, that did not look good. I'll also say this too. It's a movie that it's a little clunky how it's structured, if I'm going to be honest. You get like 2 action sequences in the beginning of the film. Like in the first 10 to 15 minutes, you get 2 action sequences in the film, which is great, which is cool. But I'll admit, like the first scene, and this has already been out online, so I'm not spoiling anything. Plus, it's now on HBO Max, so go and watch it. The first scene is the young her doing the Amazonian trial Olympic thing. I don't know. They never said actually what it was. Some sort of competition to show the greatest warrior. Pardon me. And ultimately she cheated to try to get all the way to the end, but she was stopped. And that's basically going to be her lessons. Like, the truth is greater than anything. One day you will accept, one day you'll be ready and all that, blah, blah, blah. Then you cut to the scene in the mall, which again, you get in the trailer. And it's a fun sequence, but I'll admit, it felt weird. Like, it felt off. Yeah, I don't know quite what the issue really was, but something about it didn't gel with the pacing. But then you get into the actual movie itself, and the rest of the movie does seem to gel fine for me. Like, it paced well. The problem is, I don't know what this movie really wants to be. Is it a romantic comedy? Is it a superhero movie? Is it an action movie? Is it a kind of an adventure movie? Is it I get there's an idea of combining everything together. Like, a movie can be multiple genres in one. But usually you got one or two genres. That's it. Like, you get a romantic comedy. You get let's use Ant-Man, for example. Ant-Man is a superhero heist film. But it's also a very funny movie. It is in part, like, its third part would be a comedy, but the two primary genres it is a superhero heist movie. Wonder Woman it's a superhero movie, obviously, but it's a superhero comedy, dramedy? No, excuse me. Is it a superhero rom-com, a superhero action film, a superhero period piece? I just feel like this film actually is a little confused of what it wants to be. I'll save my final criticism for later, but let's actually get into some positives now. Everyone is still fantastic in the movie. Like, though the plot seems a bit contrived, I do find that the way they bring Steve Trevor back, it made sense. And it also made sense because I was wondering, it was something we were wondering too. It's like, is he just back, or is he, does anyone else see him as Steve Trevor, or did they see him as someone else? And I mean, a little spoiler. Again, it's out now, but I won't spoil too much. No, he's actually, to everyone else except for I think Diana, he looks like a different person. Who, spoiler, she sees at the end when everything. She has a nice little conversation with, which was actually nice. But she sees Steve, and Chris Pine is still. My God, Chris Pine has just got a great personality, and I like the role reversal in this, because in the original, it's Diana who's the fish out of water, experiencing the new world, the real world, if you will, the world outside Themyscira and all these. Now it's the reverse, and Chris Pine as this wide-eyed puppy dog kid, just like, wow, it's the most adorable thing ever. He also has the best line in the entire movie. Me and my girlfriend both agree. She's in her room right now. Me and my girlfriend both agreed. And I'll spoil this line for you. He has the best line where it's that scene, again, you get in the trailer, where they're stealing it. The way I fly, they will never catch it. Oh yeah, I don't have time to explain, but they have this thing called radar. Basically, to sum it up, they're going to be able to find us. Are they going to shoot at us? Well, shit, Diana. That was a great line, because it's like, that's how we would all feel at that point. It's like, I don't care if I love this beautiful woman right in front of me. I'm like, God damn it! What the fuck are you telling me these things? Like, our plan was to go steal a plane. Are you kidding me right now? You need to tell me these things prior. It is despite the fact I feel it's confused a bit on its tone, each part of that tone does work in its own scene. The comedy works throughout. The drama, it works really well, particularly in scenes where it's Chris Pine and Gal Gadot having to play off each other about, how are we going to deal with this relationship? This shouldn't be happening at this point. It's like, we need to fix things. And I'll say this, Gal Gadot was not the strongest actress when she started out acting, but she has obviously trained, and she's improved, and she's got some really good scenes in this movie. I'm not going to say obviously Steve Trevor, okay, I keep saying Chris, because he's Chris Pine, and I'm combining Steve Trevor and Chris Pine to Chris Trevor, or Steve Pine, if you will. Steve Pine sounds better, but obviously Steve Trevor's still dead. So there's clearly a parting of the ways where he has to be gone at some point. And the scene where she has to pretty much let him go again in her life, It is a heartbreaking scene. It's a really well played scene, and she's really good in the scene. She's got one of the YouTubers I like to watch, made a really good point that maybe she's not the strongest actress yet, though she's getting better. She's getting better, and she's honestly solid because I think that partly Patty Jenkins directing. Um, she is solid in the movie. But she has a natural lovability about her. She's just very bright and warm and energetic, and you just kind of smile seeing. Of course, it doesn't hurt. She's gorgeous to look at. But apart from that, just has a very nice personality. She's very fun. She clearly loves the fact that she is Wonder Woman. She is this icon. She gets to inspire people, little kids, little girls. So she just got this energy to her. There's really only like how many main characters? There's Wonder Diana, there's Steve, Maxwell Lord, Cheetah, and then there's just side characters pretty much. And so there's no real point in talking about the side characters. Although the side characters, the few who like all of them who show up, get some good lines, they get some good moments, yeah. But no, Kristen Wiig. She, in my opinion, I kind of brought this up again to my girlfriend. She doesn't like to be named, by the way, my girlfriend. She prefers to be left anonymous, but she's okay with me mentioning her. I mentioned to her that this reminded me of Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Max. I can't remember Electro. What they were trying to do with Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2 and failed, done right in Barbara Minerva's Cheetah, Kristen Wiig's Cheetah, because she's this no-name person. She's a good person, but she's this no-name kind of quiet, petite person who no one pays any never mind to, and she befriends Diana, and she's just so infatuated with Diana's like presence, all that. She wants to be like Diana, and the MacGuffin in this is a stone. I'm not going to exactly explain what the whole idea with the stone is, but it's able to grant that to some degree. The stone is able to make that happen. And then basically seeing the downward spiral, because it's not initial her transformation into. It's like it is a gradual progression, and we see what it takes from her and what it makes her become, and it really does work. Kristen Wiig is both funny. She's honestly also very tragic too. Like you feel sorry for this person. It's not a villain that you go like, oh God, no, to hell with her. She needs to go down. No, you watch this character and you're like, oh, that's unfortunate. And does she remain Cheetah at the end of the film? Does she not? I'm not going to say. And then you get Maxwell Lord, who, again, not to get too political, but I heard compared to like a Donald Trump type, like a con man, all that kind of thing. And I could see the comparison. However, he's a much better character than, say, someone portraying that guy. Maxwell Lord, basically he's playing a con man looking for this object that's going to grant him the ability to get whatever he wants. And Maxwell Lord is actually a really interesting character, because they've done Maxwell Lord several times in different mediums. But they did a really good job of capturing a guy who is obsessed, is driven, isn't perfect, is a con man pretty much. But he's also a father that we see, and he's divorced, so he's got to take care of his son. And where it leads him ultimately, he's got some great, like he's also a very funny character, but he's also menacing at points. Like the idea of just absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's kind of what it did to him. Not even kind of, that's exactly what it did to him. And the way he is defeated, without going into too much spoilers, because I'm not trying to spoil this movie for you, go watch it. I do recommend it. The way he is defeated, I will say this much. It isn't like with Ares where Diana just overpowered his ass and killed him. No, Diana actually had to be clever in beating him, because it gets to a point where he couldn't be beaten that way. So the way he is taken out is actually very unique. And I did like the message that it was sending. Like, the movie has a good message behind it. It does. And, no, just a little spoiler, it ends at Christmas. So it counts for this time of the year. Best Christmas movie ever? Not even close. good, it's solid Christmas movie for the year, sure. But yeah, I feel like they. I don't want to say they missed the mark on this movie because there's a lot to like in the movie. It is overall a very entertaining film, but it is suffering from a kind of not incoherent plot, kind of jumbled plot. Some effects work that isn't great, and a lot of not even continuity errors, just questions that get raised because of this taking place in 1984. That means Superman is 2006. That means there's a 22-year gap. By the way, Bruce Wayne was alive at this time because Bruce Wayne in this universe is in his 40s. They never actually say how old Bruce Wayne actually is. He's like in his mid 40s or something like that, like 45 or something like that. So let's just say 45. A 22-year difference from here to, not even 24. Sorry, no, a 30, is it 36? No, I think it's a 32-year difference. Sorry, 32-year difference is what it would be. Oh no, wait, no, I'm really messing that up. Sorry, it would be a 44-year difference if I've got my math right on that. No, 42-year difference. That's where I was getting wrong. No, I got it wrong again. Darn it. No, it would be because I'm forgetting, I'm not carrying things over properly. It would be a 32-year difference. So Bruce Wayne would be in his young teens at this point. His parents are already dead. So what? How did Bruce Wayne not remember all this stuff? I mean, maybe he did, but how did he not remember? And I'm not going to say how this has happened, but Diana speaking to the world. And he also points out, how have I never heard of you? Because at the end of the movie, she's still doing she's still Wonder Womaning. But Bruce hasn't heard of her, so she stopped doing that. What happens between now and then, Wonder Woman 3, I'm guessing, where she just hangs up the lasso for about a good 2 decades? What happens? Yeah, I feel like, and by the way, there's a scene where she kind of shows off flying a little bit. The invisible jet makes an appearance, not going to say how. None of this is ever brought up in other movies, so I'm a little questioning of some things. But ultimately, look, I wouldn't say they're quibbles. They are issues with the film, like the overall universe you've set up and all that. But as a whole, I do like this film a lot. It was fun. I'll probably own it at some point. Buy it to own, just to add to the collection. Because there is a lot to like in here. A lot of it comes from just Chris Pine and Gal Gadot working off each other. Or Gal Gadot working off each other. So, ultimately, that's my opinion on the film. Have you seen the film yet? What did you think of it? Put it in the comments below. Let me know. But thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win. Star Wars, Superior, Magic, What If, anything you can do with the channel. Put it in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later because I got one What If to do.